What's going on, YouTube? This is your friendly neighborhood DraftKings addict, bringing my top picks for Friday's main NBA DFS slate. All right, guys, so before we get started, go ahead and drop a like on the video for me. It really helps out the channel. And if you're new to DraftKings addict, thank you for stopping by. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button for me real quick. That way you don't forget. So that way you can catch this daily NBA fantasy heat. Also, guys, drop your comments below. Let me know who you love and who you hate. We have a 9-game main slate today. Lots of options, so let's go ahead and dive in. This is my Twitter page, guys, at DK_addict. Give me a follow. And as always, guys, make sure you're following at Fantasy Labs NBA. Lots of good information as far as players in and out. Any news on their minute, how many minutes they're going to play, things of that nature. Very good person to follow on Twitter. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into Draft Dashboard. My research tool of choice, guys. If you're interested in the software, I have a link in the description of this video that will gain you a 30-day trial, which is a whole month for $1, 99-cent store. All right, guys, so check it out if you like what you see. All right, so first of all, we're going to jump into our position optimizer. Again, 9-game main slate, 5-game turbo. That's cool. If you don't like the big 9-game slate, you can play the 5-game turbo. Then you have a 2-game night slate, guys. So let's jump into it. So let's start off with our point guard. So at point guard, right now my favorite point guard on the slate is going to be Kemba Walker at home. Yes, I know he has this ice cube here, 37 and 33 in his last two matchups. But if you look at his last two matchups versus Washington, 52 and 65. So he has played well versus this team. And if we go and look at the playoff race right now, Charlotte is just outside of playoff contention. So they need every W they can get. They're at home. All righty. Charlotte, 4-point favorite. All right, at 234 points going to be scored between these two teams. And these two teams battle it out when they play. So, that being said, Kemba Walker's on my radar, 8.1K. Yeah, so give me some Kemba Walker. Second favorite point guard is going to be this guy here, Elfrid Payton. All right, now, it looks on paper, it looks like it's a tough matchup, right? We got a 9 and a 3 for the ranks over here. But if you look at this, his chances to hit 5-time value is 63%. I like those odds. All right, and his projected ownership at the moment is 33%. Reason being, Elfrid Payton, good Lord. Drew Holiday has been ruled out. So guess what? Elfrid Payton is probably going to get a whole lot of the ball handling responsibilities and probably going to play a good amount of minutes. All righty, which means opportunity for him as far as DFS goes. And so at 5K, he's too cheap for his position today. So at 5K, get you some Elfrid Payton. All right, so those are my two favorite point guards at the moment. All right, anything could change, guys. Keep an eye on the news, but as of right now, those are two guys that are my favorite on paper. All right. Next up, shooting guard. Actually, shooting guard. Let me see, where is he at? All right. So this guy here, Gary Harris, man. All right, so if you look at the last game, he scored 36. So he came off the bench, believe, and he scored 36 DraftKings points in 29 minutes. All right, 26 and 25. So it's averaging somewhere around 26 to 27 minutes per game. But if you look at his history versus Golden State Warriors, he does well. He's averaging 36 DraftKings points. So for a guy that's 4K, all right, he scored 40, 31, 31, and 29 in his last 4 matchups versus Golden State. I like those chances. This game has a high over and under. All righty. So at 4K, Gary Harris is somebody that I cannot ignore. All righty. Will Barton, I almost picked him as well because he's playing consistently around 30 minutes. All righty. So he's definitely somebody you could definitely pivot to, but I like Gary Harris because he's $1,900 cheaper. All right, he's only $4,000. So great value in my opinion. So next up is going to be my small forward. So right now, of course I like Bradley Beal too, guys, at shooting guard going up against Charlotte. All right, but he's 9K, so I'm gonna wait and see about if I'm gonna play him. But I definitely like Kemba on the other side of that matchup for a little bit cheaper price. So as small forward, right now, my favorite small forward on the slate is going to be, alrighty. So, I'm having a brain fart. Yeah, Mr. Winslow. All right, so in this matchup, if we get news that Dragic is sitting, I like Winslow at 6.2K. As you can see, the last time he met Cleveland, he scored 42 DraftKings points. All right. And here lately, he's been averaging around 30 DraftKings points, which is about 5 times value. But I like his upside and his chances of smashing. He's at home, all right, in Miami, I believe, right? Or is he on the road? Let's see. Yep, at home in Miami. the 8-point favorites. All right, Dragic is a game time decision. If Dragic is ruled out, I will have me a good amount of Mr. Winslow. All righty. So Kevin Winslow right now, he's my favorite small forward on the slate. Again, going up against Cleveland, which is a great matchup, as you can see, for this particular position. And he only has a 39% chance of hitting 5 times value. But with Dragic out, I like his chances. So right now, as we speak, Winslow is my favorite small forward at his price. Of course, you got a lot of good options, guys. You know, you got Doncic going up against Orlando, but I think that's a tough matchup, in my opinion. Marvin Williams has been somewhere around 5 to 6 times value versus Washington in the past. All right, you got Trevor Ariza, Galley. So you got a lot of options, man. KD, I think he's going to get overlooked. I'm going to have a couple of shares of Kevin Durant, too. All right, but right now, that's my favorite. Now, power forward, my favorite power forward right now for his price is going to be Frank Kaminsky. All right, you see the last 2 games, he's played 27 and 23 minutes and averaging somewhere around 27 DraftKings points. So for a guy that's 3.9K, you can't beat that with a little bit upside versus Washington, because this is a great matchup versus Washington when it comes to bigs. And so I like Frank Kaminsky's chances at 3.9K. He's what I call a safe dart throw, in my opinion. So get you some Frank Kaminsky. Paying up at forward, though, my favorite forward I would like to pay up for, but I just can't do it because I've been burnt so many times by Detroit. But look at this. Blake Griffin is in a great spot, man. Scored 42 and 62 in the last 2 matchups versus Chicago. All right. 9-game slate. I don't feel like I have to play him, and so I won't. But I had to mention him. But as you guys know, Detroit, they burn me, man. I just can't do it. All right. So next up, at center, my favorite center on the slate by far is this young man here, Clint Capella. We get a game versus Philly. No Joel Embiid. Give me Clint Capella all day, every day. All righty. So 6.7K. Prices come down a bit. If you look at his last couple of games, 32, 24, 27. All right, but versus Philly, with no Joel Embiid, he should be able to eat and smash that value at 6.7K going up against Philly. Give me some Clint Capella. All right, let me go ahead and put that on there. All righty. So next up at center, I also like Steven Adams too, man. I know it's on the back-to-back, but the Clippers are such a great matchup for bigs. All righty. I do like Steven Adams at 6.2K, but Clint Capella by far is my favorite center. So those are my top plays for each position right now, guys. Now, that does not mean that I'm going to have these guys in every single lineup, but I do love them. So after you get through selecting your players, guys, on your watch players, man, go over to your lineup optimizer, and you can allow Draft Dashboard to optimize the lineup for you. As you can see right here, if you like the lineup, you can hit Save Lineup. And if you want to make any adjustments, let's say you want to upgrade or downgrade Mr. Leonard here, and you want to go down to Blake Griffin, and then we want to take Jeremy Grant and go up to another player, like, say, Trevor Ariza. All right, and save that lineup. Bam. That lineup is now saved as well. So, yeah. Also, if you want to build mass lineups, you can use our mass lineup generator. You can build between 10 and 100 lineups. All righty, just go ahead and select your settings here. Hit Generate Lineups and let Draft Dashboard do all the heavy lifting for you. Also, you have the NBA cheat sheet right here, guys. So, all right, so let's go ahead and look at my favorite plays. I kind of stole my own thunder there. But these are my top plays at the moment. I won't have these guys in every single lineup, but this will be my quote-unquote core pool of players. I will have a good amount of these throughout all of my lineups tonight. Kemba Walker versus Washington, where he's averaging 60 DraftKings points, 58.1 over the 2 games that they've met. So he's at home. He's coming off a couple of bad games. I think his ownership is going to be a little bit lower on. Give me some Kemba Walker. Gary Harris, again, minutes has been ramping up. Production as well. So his history versus Golden State, averaging 40 DraftKings points, 34.5 minutes, the one game that he played this team this year. So I like his chances of blowing out that value when it comes to $4,000. So Mr. Winslow, again, history versus Cleveland. He smashed 40 points on average. All right, if we get news that Dragic is out, I like Kevin Winslow to take a lot of the guard duties and to smash versus Cleveland. So give me some Justin Winslow. Frank Kaminsky, again, 3.9K. 23, 28, 24 minutes in the last 3 games. As you can see, he wasn't playing anything. So the last 3 games, he's been getting run. And so I want to ride that at 3.9K. Is too cheap. Averaging 25 DraftKings points over the last 3 games. Give me some Frank Kaminsky at 3.9K in a plus matchup versus Washington. Clint Capella, again, great spot versus Philly at home in Houston. Should catch a lot of lobs from James Harden and Chris Paul without Embiid down low. Give me Clint Capella at 6.7K. He should be able to smash as well. And last but not least, Elfrid Payton going up against Toronto. Tough game on paper, but as you can see, his history versus Elfrid Payton in the past, versus Toronto in the past has been good. They're at home, no Drew Holiday. Elfrid Payton should get a usage bump and ball handling and assist bump, and scoring. So give me some Elfrid Payton at 5K, too cheap for his spot. All right, so that leaves you $8,000 on average for the last two spots. And so, hey, you can play whoever you like with $8,000 for the last two spots. All right, so that's my core plays, guys. Good luck on today's slate. Before you go, please drop a like on the video. It really helps out the channel. And if you're new to DraftKings Addict, if you have not subscribed already, go ahead and hit the subscription button. All righty, so if anybody played the plays from yesterday, all right, we had some heat. Yes, it was only a 2-game slate, but we had some heat. I don't know about you, but I scored around 329 DraftKings points was my top lineup. So just a couple of points away from taking down the GPP. But let's go ahead and get it, guys. So peace, and I'll holler at you guys tomorrow.